Welcome to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo, Dr. Shirley and medium Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world. This is Both Sides Now.
Yay! Hi, everybody. Is my mic still? Oh, here we go. Hi, everybody. I am spiritual medium Kellee White, and I'm so grateful to be with John Williams, the
Hey,
greatest.
Kel. How you
Hi,
doing, rock
John.
star? You rocked it last night. A
I
lot of
think
information,
I think I
but
blew James. I think he got so tired that he literally was like, "Okay, I gotta go now." And so whoever was there watching, he I think it was a lot of information, wasn't it?
it really was. And it was a lot of empowering information too, because
Yeah.
when you know it, you're more prepared, right? So it's quite a lot
Right.
to be prepared for
Oh my
because
gosh. And I
what a
think
month.
what a month that we have
Yeah.
going on. And I don't know when I'll repeat all of that information. Probably I won't. I mean, it's just too much. And as we take each aspect coming up, of course, on both shows, I'll go over, that information. But as far as the show that was on vanprog.com last night, the live event we did, is that
hmm
going to be, uh,
Yeah, so we're trying to decide right now how it's going to be distributed
okay,
at this point, but it was recorded, so we do have everything
yeah.
recorded, and we're just waiting on permission to how to distribute.
Great. And I
Yeah,
have to say, people asked such great questions
it
too. I mean,
did.
for the people that weren't there, I went over for the rest of the year, really, the big astrology events that are going to occur. And we have big events that are going to occur.
We sure do.
In June, every day is a big event pretty much. Big ones, big ones, big ones that
Mhm.
add up and add up and add up, and each one brings a punch. So what I went over that was yesterday, and then I went into the July um, to the July events that happened, and then I think I went skipped over into September, and then I went into November and December, and it's just a lot that will happen this year to bring about change. So if you get a chance to listen to it, I think it would provide a lot of information. Not to scare anybody. John, did I scare anybody? No,
Well,
James, I think. I think he's like, oh, I gotta go. I need a
yeah,
martini, I think was exactly what he said. Yeah.
right. Well, I'm going to post the notes from last night, the ones that you posted from Soul Care, and I'll put that in the comments below, and
Okay.
folks can check that out. Those are the June events.
Yeah,
So,
but there was a lot more that I
yes,
covered in this
you
event
did.
than I did just in that part of it.
You did.
Only because it was so much,
Yeah.
going on. But so, and I wanted to ask you, I stayed until I think nearly 8 o'clock, well, my time, Central Time, six
Yeah.
o'clock your time, answering questions.
Yeah.
They were some great
They
questions.
really
For the
were.
people that asked those questions, they were really great.
Mhm.
And so how long did you stay in that room? Tell them what goes on in the
Well,
Zoom event.
after the event, we always like to get together with folks and find out, what they
Mhm.
thought of the event, and we just hold space for one another so that they can really communicate how they're feeling and what's going on, and so it's just really where we hold space, and
Mhm.
it's just it's a nice spiritual support group that we do, and we had a lot of people come and go all night long, probably up until I usually stay until 9 p.m. my time,
Wow.
sometimes 10 p.m. my time. So that's
Wow.
Pacific time.
Did a
Yeah.
lot of people stay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we had people up to the end. Yeah, sure do. And people on the East Coast as well. So just to let you know, they stay up pretty late for this. So, yeah, we have a really great time.
Oh my God, it's a great group. Really
Yeah,
interesting
really
group.
is.
And so many of them are empaths, which is what we're going to discuss today.
Yeah.
But I think what I want to start now, just to go quickly over, because we did some of this on Monday's show, and I don't want to be too repetitive, but on June 13th, which is Saturday, so
Mhm.
Saturday, Mars conjuncts Neptune. And so when Mars conjuncts Neptune, it means that it's really close to Neptune, is very, very close, conjunct next to. And Mars is the planet of action, war, intensity. And Neptune is the hidden planet. And so things that would have been hidden would be brought out by this Mars intense energy. And
Mhm.
so, what I believe will happen is that secrets in the world come out. So secrets would be revealed because Neptune is activated by Mars, and Neptune is conspiracy theories. So
Mm,
that's going to be activated. Some of them may come out to be, accurate. I don't know. But
yeah.
some things that will, and I'm not a conspiracy person. I'm not even a
Mhm.
political person, but it's just so much is going to come out of this
Sure.
time. And also, Neptune rules illness, it rules
Oh,
disease.
wow.
And so, COVID,
Okay.
I think we may find out that COVID comes, it's for sure going to come back. It never went
Mhm.
away, but it's going to probably magnify much, much more because of this Mars aspect. And what's going to happen is people are going to want to escape. So escapism
Mm,
plays out on this. That means drugs, alcohol. I did a reading, and I'll just say this for somebody the other day. And at the very end, I couldn't understand why my energy, every time I would try to get into with the energy of the work that I do,
mhm.
because I put out a lot. When I do a reading for somebody, normally it goes right in. And what I learned, and I know this has probably happened before, but I wasn't really that as astute about it as I am now because of this energy that's coming in.
Mhm.
But what happened is I thought, why am I banging my head against trying to get in here? I mean, the person was fabulous, loved what I was saying, appreciated, understood it, made all the sense. But in my energetic field, I felt that there was some odd block. It was almost like a waste of my energy going in. At the
Mm.
very end, she said to me, "Do you think that I should stop smoking pot?"
Oh.
I'm
Mm.
going to tell you what. Now, people out there, empaths, I know the thing with pot is it dulls and goes into your energetic field. It just does. So when you work with an energetic healer, like a Prajna or a Carrie, or having
Mhm.
work with me, I don't do healing like that. When I work, it's really through what I'm saying and activating a lot going on.
Mhm.
Um, and so you've got to be really mindful of the person that's doing the energetic healing and why really waste your time. Don't waste your time or money because it's an investment in yourself. So when you work
Mhm.
with somebody like me or any of the other people that is on our team. So anyway, I just want everybody to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
And listen, my father he smoked pot from the till he died at 85, and was wake and bake, we called him. So I couldn't be around that energy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I couldn't be around the energy
Sure.
because it really affected me. So this really does affect me. So I just
Mhm.
want everybody, if you're going to see somebody like me or any of the other ones, give it like, don't smoke for 2 or 3 weeks or at least 2 weeks, because it's just too much for us. So
Mm.
anyway, and that's going to come out more with this. Because you're going to want to be, it's like you don't want to, people are not going to want to, they're going to want to escape. They're going to be a fear of the future.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, we're going to go on some wild ass ride.
Sure
It's
are.
some wild, so people are gonna want to escape. But
Yes.
guess, it's almost like the Netflix thing has already run its course, And so now what?
Uh-huh.
Now there's gonna be a lot of stuff, And also during this time with Mars conjuncting Neptune, watch your dreams. Pay a lot of attention to your dreams because your dreams are gonna reveal a lot. Your unconscious is starting to become conscious, and when that happens, your dreams will be activated in a different way. They will reveal other pieces of yourself, and a dream always represents something. It could be, something that you need to really work on because it's bringing something up in a symbol, like a symbolically. And I love to do dream interpretation.
Yeah.
I love it. But it also could be, a visitation. It could be
Sure.
something that you see in the future.
Yeah.
It's
We were
all
talking
of
about that
that.
last night actually in the group, difference between dreams and visitations, and
Hmm.
I was mentioning to them that you are really good at dream interpretation, and in fact, if the
Yeah.
lady is listening, she can call in today, maybe have that dream
Please
interpreted.
do. Please do. I would be happy to do that.
Yeah.
I love dream interpretation.
Yes, you do.
It's
And can you
actually
raise
one of my
your mic
favorites.
just a little bit, Kel, so we can hear you
Oh,
a little bit better, just a
yeah.
little bit.
Is that a little better right there?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's better.
My
Thank
hair
you.
gets in the way and
It's
the
okay. Yeah.
chunky jewelry and everything gets in the way. It's mostly my hair. So anyway, and then I want to say something about that I mentioned in the group yesterday in the event with James, that
Mhm.
on June 14th, it happens to be Donald Trump's birthday. And he was born at 22. So there are three master numbers: 11, 22, and 33. So when anybody takes, so you go 1 to 9, and 9 is really a completion of everything. and it's really it's like complete. You come to complete lifetimes of whatever it is, and then I call it 11, 22, 33 is what I would call grad school, and as an 11, it's a teacher. They come in to learn everything that, so it would be a very difficult life. Anybody who takes an 11 path brought on a lot. So you could have the experience of having uh, the experiences of difficult situations of pain and fear and all of these things, so you can get stronger. So every time you have an experience, you have to admit, it does get you stronger.
Mhm.
What does they say? If God brings you to it, he's going to get you through it.
Yeah.
It's actually true.
I like that. That's great.
Is it? Yeah, I think that's the saying. It's something that
Yeah.
is a great one. And
Yeah.
then there's an 11 is a teacher, and a 22 is a master builder. Okay, a 22
Mhm.
is a master builder, but it can be used to destroy too, master destroyer. So everything has a positive and a negative. Like an 11 could take as a as- go down a wrong path, somehow get involved with some Svengali and give away all your power. So, and then 22 can really build and then destroy. And a 33 is the teacher and the builder, and it comes with this to work with spiritual laws and teach the spiritual laws. I'm a 33, and I know there's some 33s out there. There's a lot of responsibility.
Mhm.
So the reason I mention this is because Donald Trump's birthday, was born in 1946, and his birthday is June 14th. So he's by birth a number 22, a builder. This is no surprise. We know he's a builder.
Mhm.
But that day, June 14th on 2020, a couple of days, is a power day. It's a 33 day on and he's a 22 on a 33 day. What does this mean? There will be he will, and he sits in the middle of two eclipses, one that was on the 5th of June and the other on the 21st. It's coming up. It's smack in the middle of, and in the United States, the head of the United States. So I would expect enormous change in his life,
Mm.
something deep that I'm not seeing, and frankly, don't need to see. Don't need to see, don't want to see.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have seen enough, as they say. But I just want to say, I don't know anybody else is talking about that, but
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, I have to talk about that.
So folks are asking, how do they know what their number? I know
Oh,
you explained this last
it's
night, but
so
can you just
much
walk us
fun.
through?
Sure. You take, like, I was born September, which is a 9. So you take your
Mhm.
month. I was born on the 20th, which if you add it up is a 2.
So
So
9
that's,
plus 2 plus 0 plus
I was born in 1957, which is a
1 plus
22.
9 plus 5 plus 7, right?
Hmm.
Got it.
And that's called, and the numbers that are, you never break down an 11 or a 22. And the patterns for the years 1984, 1957, what was I, 1948. Well, it's, my math is funny, but 1948 is a 22 year, 1957 is a 22 year, 1984 is a 22 year, 94, 96, 90, I forget the other ones after that. And during the 20th century, there were a certain amount of years that were devoted to 22. Oh, thanks, Susie. I feel, because I'm wearing my mom's, well, this is not my mom's top, but my mom's necklace, and I
Mm.
thank you. Prajna mentioned that, Susie, that I was more serene or
Mhm.
grounded or something like
I was
that.
feeling that last night too. Yeah. So
Thanks. I think I've just
mm.
embodied a lot. Plus my sciatica went out. And then it was like, oh my God, but you want to talk about, and I'll tell you, I had a reading with somebody who told me the most interesting thing today. She said that behind the sciatica issue, if you go even further, if you don't take care of that, it
Mhm.
goes into shingles.
Oh, wow.
So it's all inflammation and
Yeah.
diet and stress and all of that. So
Oh,
I
wow.
have quickly become vegan
Mm.
in the last about 10 days.
And you stopped
So
drinking wine, right?
I haven't had alcohol in 10 or 11 days now. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
I'm working with Prajna. She's like,
Yeah.
nope, you can't. And if you don't think Mama doesn't love her red wine and vodka, you've got to be kidding. I still
How are
can't
you
believe it.
escaping, Kel? That's the
I'll
question.
tell you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Today, Dawn and I are walking down to the cows. We have cows.
Okay, yeah.
They're not our cows. the farmer's cows, but it's our land. So we're
Sure.
gonna go down and we're gonna have a walk. It's a beautiful day actually in the neighborhood. And I spend more time in nature with my garden. I sound like James, but I really do.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying just the moments that I have that are quiet. And that's what I'm
Mm.
doing. And as an empath, that's important. And we can talk later. We should probably go into the empath, what an empath is and all that, because and we'll talk about Mercury going retrograde on Monday's show. We'll really go into detail about that. But it is on June 18th, which is, what day is that, John? Is that Tuesday? No, it's next Thursday. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I, I
great.
I put up
We're-
Prajna's information for those who are interested in having
uh,
a session with her. So
she's phenomenal.
yeah.
She's a healer's healer.
Yeah.
Never worked with anybody like her. And James would say the same thing,
Hmm.
And you've had sessions with
I
her. You've had a
have.
session,
I
and
have another one coming up.
ooh, I'm
Very
so
soon.
excited.
Thank you. And
So,
yeah, so a lot of people in our community have had readings. I'm sorry, sessions. I
I'm
like to call them
glad.
readings with her because you read your energy. But yeah, sessions
Mhm.
with her and healing sessions with her, and all rave reviews. So yeah.
Oh, she's just takes your soul in her hands
Hmm.
and then does this gentle work. Oh, Renee, you have one on the 20th? Oh, and I have to get back to you, Renee. I know you sent me an email. I just haven't had time yet. But boy, it's great. So Selena says she's an empath and been feeling anxious. So let's talk about that. So
Yeah.
you may really, Selena, great name. I got chills here. You probably such an empath that's coming through with you.
Hmm.
Um, especially I get with around animals would be really, you must do something with
Oh,
animals.
Susie's having her session today with Prajna.
Oh, it's going to be great, Susie. It will be
Yeah.
life changing. It's life changing. And one of the things that she says is that it's really up there with when I said, don't smoke pot, don't do any of that if you're going to work with this, because then you will have made an agreement
Hmm.
with her team and your guides and team. And so it just, what's the point, really? But anyway, what she says, she's the one that said to me, Kelly, we had a session, and she said, You really don't drink because don't, and it's not like I was a big drinker. I just love my couple glasses of wine at night. She said it actually goes into the energetic field and brings you right down.
Oh
Well,
wow.
that's all I had to hear because energy for me is everything.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Kim says she has a session on the 26th with Prajna.
A
Great.
lot
Boy,
of people
I'm so
getting.
happy. I
Yes.
just love to support her work. I think
I know
she's
you do.
phenomenal.
Yes. I've seen
She's here
several of her
to
work too.
affect change.
Yes, she really is. And let me see here. So it looks like you have read for Selena in the past, Kel. She
I
was the one with the
have.
white moth. Maybe she called in.
Oh,
I think she called in a long time ago and took pictures of that
Oh,
moth
oh,
with
I
the smiley
remember
face.
that.
Yeah.
I
Is that
hope your life changed. That was amazing. I think you lost your husband. Was that about right?
unless this is someone else who's seen white
Oh,
moths? I don't know. I
I
mean, I
think there was
don't think they're
somebody who
that
had just
common, are they?
lost her husband that I'd done a
Mm,
session with.
And can
But
you pull the mic down just a little bit? It's popping just a
oh,
little bit.
sorry
I know
about that.
we're
Is
fine.
that
There we
is
go.
that better?
Yeah, that's good.
So let's talk about what empaths are, because empaths, I'm an empath. Do you know? I don't know if you know this, John, but only 1 or 2% of the population is an empath.
I didn't know that. No. Wow. I
Fun
know that I
fact.
was reading an article the other day, and I'm going to post it to the group
Okay.
about super empaths, which is interesting. And yeah, and I don't,
Tell
there's
me about that. What
well,
is a
there's
super
different
empath?
types of empaths.
Mhm.
They're in the way that they sense the information and feel the information,
Oh,
and how deeply they feel the information. Some really
right.
feel it. We were talking yesterday about this. Some really feel like they get heart pain when they experience something that is really
Oh,
deep and sad for another. So like actual heart pain that almost feels like heartburn. I I
wow.
I've had just recently in the last few days, I've had this feeling like, do you know when you put like Vicks or vapor
Mhm,
rub or whatever on your chest? I've been having
mhm.
that feeling in my chest lately, and I'm not putting anything on it. It just feels like my heart is opening up more. Um,
Oh, I
which
think
is
it is.
it's a very interesting experience to feel. I don't
Yeah.
know if anybody else in the audience has felt that before, but that was a new one for me. And I think that when I did some work with Prajna and all of that, that it's starting to open up my heart more because it takes time for the healing to integrate as well. So, it's not instant. It's with the work that you do along with the healing, I believe.
I'm glad to hear your heart opening up. I
Yeah.
think so many people love you, John, that I'm just glad that you're opening up to receive that, and
It's such a beautiful
really,
community that we have the privilege to
yeah.
to reach,
Well,
and it's
and
just
you
such love.
founded that community, so
Oh,
it's you really have, and you go in, and I love that you set things up, and people get to meet each other, and and there's so many empaths in this group, and if you think
sure.
about it, if there's 1 or 2% of the population that are empaths, so many of them are in this group,
Yeah.
because empaths need support. They need support. The empaths come from, and nobody's from this earth. Nobody is from this place. We all
Mhm.
come from other galaxies and whatever, but the empaths are really, really sensitive. You would have known as an empath that you were different. Like when I actually, the moment I came out of the womb, I am certain I was like, oh my God, you know, really? Okay, I'm now the mother and the father to these people that don't have a clue what they're doing. Oh, great. F me. I'm sure that's what I thought. I'm positive. But I actually believed until maybe I've said this before, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, that everybody, when they walked in a room, that they knew every single thought that was going on. Like I'm still dumbstruck when people would say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just don't understand. I mean, I yes, I have the ability to read something fast, but my goodness, what Lori says, I just wrote last night about opening eyes of the heart versus physical eyes. Wow, Lori. Very great.
Mhm.
How
I know that
great.
when she worked on me, she did a lot with the third eye too, so, this feels like
Yeah.
a cooling sensation across my heart, and yeah, it's a very interesting sensation. Yeah.
You have to ask her about that, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
I
has,
will.
it's like your heart is opening up.
Mhm.
A cooling, as Shirley would say, means releasing traumas.
There you go. Somatic
That's it.
experience. Uh-huh.
Cheryl, thank you, Cheryl, for
Tell
that.
you, our team is amazing. We've got Shirley, who's a somatic experiencer, Kelly, who's our medium and psychotherapist, Prajna, who's our healer, energy healer, and Carrie, who's our family constellation. And she does so much more than just family constellation.
Yeah.
So we're putting the four sides now group together.
It really is. I mean, we have a plus team
Yeah.
here, and usually what happens is if somebody comes to see me, I'll go, "Okay, I'm having this session, and I'm, going through everything that I need to say." And I'll
Yeah.
go, "Okay, no, you actually need this one now." And I'm
Mhm.
like a quarterback. I'll go, "No, this one goes here, and this one goes here, and you need to do this." I'm
Yeah,
a director.
you are.
It's so funny. My I have two brothers, and they're both younger than me, but one of my brothers said he's a director, and he acts like he's Mr. Director. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm actually the director here. Yeah. It's very funny. But anyway, as an empath,
Yeah,
I thought everybody had this ability and they
sure.
don't. So
Yeah.
I was often just taken aback personally by how mean people were. I
Yeah.
could never understand meanness. I
Mhm.
mean, flat out mean and bully. I could never understand that energy
Mhm.
ever. And I think I had a very strong mother that was in a good way strong, that really, told me to stay in the box, which was cracks me up because she was trying to
Mhm.
protect me because she must have, well, she knew I was different. But I always felt, and empaths may feel this way, I always felt old. Not old in
Mhm. Like as
old,
in
like
wisdom.
old wisdom,
Mhm.
old, like I'm with these kids?
Mhm.
Like, as a kid, I thought that, you
Yeah, I
know?
used to talk to adults way more than I did the kids, so I know what you
N
mean.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's not that, and I could fit along with anybody, it was never
Mhm.
that, I never got pushed in one side or this side, and I mean, I've had every
Yeah.
experience, but I anyway, an empath brings on unless you have to learn as an empath to really ground yourself and
Mhm.
not take on people's
Sure.
pain, suffering, and especially as a medium. And I do a talk now. I'm doing this medium summit, and I'm not teaching mediumship, but I'm teaching really boundaries and psychological
You are?
aspects that go with mediumship.
Mhm.
Yeah, empaths observe but don't absorb. Easier said than done.
It is. Yeah.
It's very hard for empaths.
Yeah.
So empaths can sense and read others. So again, I immediately can sense, John, I mean,
Mhm.
it's so funny because if you could just be honest with the person with that, because the
Yeah.
fear is if you're honest with somebody that they're going to go, and then how are you going to handle that when they, you
Right. We
know,
anticipate well, psychically we
yeah,
anticipate the next move or the reaction. And so many times
tw-
we
12 moves, 12 moves.
right. So we
Yeah.
pull back because we
Hmm.
don't want to feel that. And I think that's hard for empaths sometimes to speak up with boundaries and so forth
Yeah.
because, you know,
It's very hard.
negotiating a raise, for instance, or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be, is difficult.
It
Yeah.
is very
Yeah.
difficult. And
So,
speaking your mind, speaking
yeah.
your truth,
Hmm.
because you might be afraid that somebody's going to get angry and
Hmm.
abandon you,
Sure.
or something's going to happen. But an empath doesn't miss anything. You don't go,
Right.
if you're an empath, if you know it, it's accurate.
Hmm.
If you think it, you know it. It's not even it's a feeling that happens so fast that you can't put it in your mind. It just happens. So
Yeah.
empaths are also really good listeners. So all you empaths out there,
Mhm.
unless you're getting paid as a therapist, okay, I know some of you, you've got to time it, because what's happening is as you think you're just listening, they're taking your energy.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Danette says, is it common for empaths to take on the same physical pains of those they love? Oh my God, let me tell you, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so you have to watch that, because again, if somebody used to come in, if they would come in for a reading, if they had been eating tacos, I would crave a taco. If they had a stomach ache, I had a stomach ache. You have
Yeah.
to learn. Oh, the things I've learned. Everybody has to learn these things. So Michelle says, I have a hard time with boundaries because I can feel the reaction. That's what we're talking about,
Yeah.
Michelle.
Mm.
And this is where you have to know yourself and get very embodied. Listen, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because it took me some time to really get deeply centered. I'll
Mhm.
tell you what, where you can't get pushed around. Oh, that's just so not going to happen with me.
Mhm.
You've got to be kidding. But had so much practice with it.
Sure.
So Betty says, I'm a rehab counselor and I feel my energy sucked out so easily. So how do you
Mhm.
stop that from happening? Betty, as a rehab counselor, more than anybody, you have to really
Yeah.
step in and put boundaries. And boundaries would look like, so let's say somebody comes into your office and they're wanting and wanting and wanting. You have to put a shield around you.
Mhm.
Don't go into the whole story. Observe the story. Check yourself at all times. They might be yap, 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 da, da, da. That's okay, because people that are in rehab they'll suck you in so fast because
Mhm.
they're needing something. So
Sure.
instead, you give them tools. So tell me, then you start off with giving them tools as a rehab counselor. And I'm sure you are aware of that. But how, and then you go like this, change it up real quickly. How is this tool working for you? Give me an example. And you have to start getting into your power like that, as opposed to being passive. You almost get more like this in
Mm.
there, and very grounded. It will help. It will shift the energy. I'll say that.
Mhm.
But
Another
Betty, make sure you definitely surround yourself with, like, I always call it plexiglass, like,
Mhm.
that it's not going to go in. And believe me, I've had some drainers.
Now I like to do it with a mirror,
I love,
like a mirror
yeah.
coating, you know what I mean? So whatever they're sending bounces back and shows it back to them.
And it's very hard as
Yeah.
in rehab,
Yeah.
because they have different needs and
Sure
different
they do.
issues.
Yeah.
But you make such a good point with that one. No matter what it is,
Mhm.
even if it's rehab, you still have to be number one yourself. You
Mhm.
have to, if the moment you feel, oh boy, then you go, okay, that's enough. And you get back in your body, and then you change up the energy by saying either, no, we have to stop now,
Yeah.
or deflect it back on them. You can do it.
And while we're on the subject of that, there's also a process of cutting the cords, and you can ask your angels and guides to assist you with that process. And the reason you want to do that is because even after the session, or even after having, a very emotional conversation with someone, the hooks of that, could still be in, like the
Right.
cords, the hook of the cord could still be in, and you just want to cut the energetic cords. And I've heard
Hmm.
James even talk about doing that even after a phone call or online conversation. I mean, energy is energy, so it's important to detach from it, and that's a difficult thing for empaths because we still feel like, oh, they need us, and and that's something we need to talk about maybe a little bit too, Kellee, is
Let's talk
unconscious
about it.
versus conscious empath.
So this is what I was saying with Betty. You have to embody
Yeah.
consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the word, John. Honestly,
Yeah.
thank you for that. You have to embody consciousness. What does that mean? You have to be aware of everything about you.
Mm.
About you. What is it about you? It's about you. And it's about time it's about you as an empath. It's a great gift to have, but you have to know how to use it wisely, constructively, get in the body. You
Mm.
have to embody the consciousness. So you see how conscious I am? I'm very conscious.
You
I
are.
really don't miss
Right.
anything. I don't think I miss anything. Maybe, but I don't think
But
so.
you're so compassionate along
Oh,
with that.
and
I mean,
that's the
yeah,
key. So
yeah,
as an empath, thank you for that. You
yeah.
can move into compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Compassion does not mean I'm a fool and I'm just going to sit there and go, okay, okay. You got to be kidding. No way. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't let anybody do that. I just can't. It's about them. It's about all of us growing up. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Wendy says she can visualize cutting the cords, and if that works for you guys, do it. Another thing that empaths should do is connect to nature, and that's what I do, John. The cutting the cords is great. I will have to continue to remember that one. For
Mm.
me, I look out and I go, I've got to go recharge. I've got to go drain my energy, take my shoes off, step on the grass, go for a walk, clear
Mm-hmm.
myself, come to. Now, before I used to go, I'm going to have a drink now. You see, there's a
Yeah.
difference.
So it's earthing. You're earthing. You're sending that energy back into the ground then, so that
Yeah.
yeah. So kind of like how we do the spiritual shower. We've talked about that.
Hmm.
Remember, James? And we talk about, when for empaths when they're exhausted, go into the
Yeah.
shower and drain all that negative energy. Think of the chakras being cleansed,
Excellent.
the colors coming from the golden light coming from the shower, and then the negativity draining down the drain. And then when you get out, we like to, at this point, you always want to put on the armor, it's the metallic armor, the mirror armor, so that you are going,
And
out into the world
in
protected.
that mirror, put
Yeah,
in the word consciousness.
there you go. Yeah.
That's the key right there. I always could never quite get it until you said that. It's
Mm,
really both. You can do the shower, you can put that mirror
yeah.
on, but do it with consciousness.
Consciousness.
Everything has to be consciousnness.
Can you go
You
into a
just,
little more about that so people
yes.
understand? They hear that word.
So
What does that mean?
it means to be very aware,
Okay.
be awake, aware. Consciousness means, let's say you're drinking and you're in a stupor, and because you don't even, it may be because what we're just talking about, you feel so much as an empath that
Mm-hmm.
you to stop it, instead of doing that, go, wait a minute, what is it about that conversation that I had that has just driven me to drink? Or what is it about somebody that has sucked my energy that now I'm going to go drink? Because you're doing it's a self-defeating behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You're self-sabotaging. And
Sure.
then you're going to be in that same cycle again. And so you have to have awareness. So consciousness gives you responsibility to every action that you take. And again, in this world, we're going to have a lot of choices to make, and it's all about growing up, growing your soul up. It's not so much what you're going to wear and what you're not going to wear. That doesn't really matter. The
Mm-hmm.
big choices that matter are the ones that are going to affect your life, and you have to pay attention. And if you do it half asleep, or I don't want to, or this or that, that's going unconscious. Let's get awake, everybody. Everybody wake up.
I
Oh,
love
good,
what Wendy's
Wendy.
saying. Now, I've had like 4 or 5 people tell me that they have seen deer lately, and so we need to
Okay.
look at that animal totem for deer.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Did I send you the picture of what happened?
Well, you had the
Okay.
woodpecker yesterday. What did you
Okay,
have? Did you
no.
have another?
Let me show you. I don't mean to just
Okay.
use my phone, but I have to show you this because I was talking to Prajna in India. I was talking
Yeah,
to her in India. It's
yeah.
like 3 or 4 days ago. And before the woodpecker, as I was talking to her, I was stunned and I said, "Oh my God, there's a deer running across my I have all this land everywhere, and
Mhm.
a single deer, and I had it here, and I took a picture of this deer. Actually, I'll have to send it to you, John. It says, when deer leaps in as your spirit animal, it's time to be compassionate towards yourself
Mm.
and others.
Mhm. There you
It
go.
says, deer is a totem animal that belongs to those who shine the light so others may find their way home.
Aw.
It means that when deer is evoked, you need to create a space that will give you peace in your sphere. And you saw 4
Mhm.
deers, Karen? Go you. I just saw the
Mhm.
one. That means you got some work there. That's great. That's fantastic, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, deers are really coming out now. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it. I couldn't believe that this, as I was talking to her, and then this is the weird thing with this deer. It ran one way, and I started screaming, "Oh, Prajna, a deer is standing right here!" And then it turned around, looked at me, and turned around and went
Mhm.
back the other way. It was
Hmm.
interesting. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, it's a great message. Yes, I saw a woodpecker.
Yes, you did.
I have a picture of that too, and I've sent that to you, John. That's
James talked about it on Soul Care, and then you also talked about it. Well, no, did you bring it
I
up
haven't
last
talked
week?
about it.
No.
Don and I
Yeah.
were in the kitchen and I looked out and I said, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, what's that?" So I
Yeah.
grabbed my phone and I'm like, "Duh." I said, I never saw a bird like that has a giant red head. And it was a male woodpecker. Because our niece told us, and then I looked it up, and I'm like,
Uh,
"Holy Mother of God!" And it was so bizarre.
mm.
And here's what it means. It said, um, yeah, Peggy said that they're really, really rare. What did I say? What it was? Oh my gosh. Oh, it said, no. Oh my God. Now I can't find what it says. It said something about lighting. Your light is going to start to shine for the world or
Well, there
something
you
like
go.
that.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, go me. Yeah, I've never
Yes.
seen a woodpecker in my life. So that was really
Wow.
cool.
And speaking of, let's tell them a little bit about the summit that you're working on. I know you mentioned it earlier, but let's go ahead
Yeah,
and bring this
I
up.
was invited finally to the party. There we are. There's 18 of us. Hey, Janelle. Janelle is a great medium too from Australia. She and I were
Mhm.
in the last two to be invited, but the most important. And that's so funny. I have to say that. But all my look, James is part of the summit. It's and
Mhm.
Mavis, who I love, and Tony Stockwell, who I love, and
Mhm.
Gordon Smith, who I love, and Paul Jacobs, who I love, and Lynn Probert, who I love. And these are all great mediums. And Lauren Rainbow is also a friend of Prajna's. So, and
Yeah,
Michael
I've worked
Mayo,
for
who
you.
I know. I mean, it's all an extraordinary group of mediums.
Mhm.
And everybody can, you buy a ticket and then you get to listen to all of us within 4 days. And we're all teaching something. And I'm teaching mediumship, bridging mediumship with psychology, because it's great that you have a gift. It's great that you've got the gift. But let
Mhm.
me tell you what, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with this. Awareness. In fact,
Yeah,
my talk the other day was
it was.
making the unconscious conscious.
Conscious. Yeah.
Because when you're doing this work,
Well,
you
you
have to be
mentioned how
aware.
yeah, you mentioned about being aware, also about taking personal and ethical responsibility.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
because you have
very,
the
very
lives
true.
in your hands.
You have
Yeah.
to, exactly.
Mhm.
So, well, let's go on with empaths here, and then I'm
Sure.
going to talk about some tools, and then we'll take questions and everything. So,
Alright.
empaths also have a love of animals.
That's what we're talking about, animal totems.
I'm going to tell you, and I've
Yeah.
never known an empath that didn't love it. And I should mention there is a huge difference between HSP, highly sensitive person, and an empath. So an
Mhm.
HSP doesn't have the n- uh, necessarily, not really, they're sensitive, they're highly sensitive to this and to that, but they don't have the empathy piece. So every empath is HSP. I mean, we're all sensitive.
Mhm.
But the difference is, I mean, I have many clients that are highly sensitive people. I'll call them from Beverly Hills, HSPs, but they don't have the empath piece. And that is what you need. You have to have the empath piece to be an empath. And anyway, it's great. So, also, empaths are expressive, ta-da, and they're also very reclusive, right, John?
Yes. I love how you say, "Right, John?"
All right, John. I mean, and
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is a big one. We can talk about that for days.
Yeah.
Empaths are peacemakers, and why is that?
Mhm.
Shall I give everybody a guess? We can't stand the pain of trauma that
Yeah.
goes on. Please, let's have peace,
Mhm.
please. I I wish, and then you
Mhm.
have to get like me and become a warrior. You
Yeah.
can be a warrior for as an empath too, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, I am for sure. Okay, here's another thing with empaths, and right now this is a big one. Empaths can be overwhelmed by media.
Mhm. Big one. Big
It's a
one.
big one. So what do we always say? Turn on music, sit outside, do nothing, don't turn on the TVs too much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Besides, it actually takes your energy, you know. It
Mhm.
really does. And empaths are compassionate, safe havens. So people of all walks of life want to be around an empath.
Sure.
Got to watch it. Got to watch it. You have to, regardless. because you're going to be like, oh, they need me, as you pointed out.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
exactly.
how far that goes.
Yeah.
Unless you're getting paid. No,
Because it's an
no.
exchange of energy and a lot of
Yes.
energy at that. That's
And,
why the payment is important. Because a lot of people are like,
yeah.
it's a gift. Why should you charge for it? Well, a lot of the times it has to do with the fact that money is energy and it's an energy exchange that's
Yeah.
happening. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
This dimension is that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want folks to go ahead and put in the comments the things that they struggle with as an empath, and we will address that as well as best we can. I also opened up the phone lines. It's 213-893-4464. We've got a few calls waiting already, so we'll
Okay.
get to that very soon. Cannot believe 40 minutes have flown by already.
Oh my gosh. Well, let me just say some
Yeah,
tools right now. We'll do the tools and then we'll take the
sure.
calls. Number one tool is find plenty of time for quiet and solitude.
Hmm. To recharge your battery.
Recharge.
Hmm.
Grounding. I have a grounding sheet that
You
I
do.
just love. I
Yeah.
did. I have two of them, so I love them. Take your shoes off, walk on grass or sand, and
Yep.
let your energy drain. Okay, here's another big one. Eat nourishing foods, organic, organic, organic.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of water, lots of fruit, and lots of vegetables. And
Mm-hmm.
almost, as I said, I'm pretty much at a vegan state now. I miss my cheese,
Yeah.
but I miss my wine and alcohol. But anyway, I've got a sciatica, and it is not going to rear
Come
its
back.
head again.
Sure.
Do body work. Body work is really good. Now,
Mhm.
how do we do body work? I don't know how people are getting massages now. I have no idea. Please let me know. Facials, I love all of that, but and it's I just don't know how to do it
Yoga is a
now.
good body work, though, right?
Oh, yoga's
Yeah.
fantastic for this. Homeopathy with I
Sure.
use classically trained homeopathist, and that really
Mhm.
helps everything. Epsom and sea salt baths,
Mhm.
very and keep a spiritual practice.
Mhm.
These are all things. All right.
Most definitely. All right, you ready to get to the
I
calls?
am. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's go
Let's
for it.
go.
All right, we'll try to get through these as quickly as we can. We have
Okay.
Kathy calling from, I believe this is Kathy, calling from Portland, Maine. Please let us know if we got
Yes.
your name correct.
Hi.
Hi
Hi,
there, Kathy. How are you?
Good.
Kathleen.
Kelly, how are you?
I'm good,
Yes.
thanks, honey. How can I help you? What is your burning question here?
Well, I want to first say thank you for last night. It was awesome.
Oh, you were on the call.
I
Thank
was. And I've gotten 2 sessions with you in the past.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you. Well, good.
And I'd love to do my number, my birth number,
Okay,
and to
remind
find
me
out
of your
what it
birthday.
means.
Okay, what is your birth number,
It's
meaning your numerology?
5/16/1975.
5/16/1975. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so 1975 is also a 22.
It's my year.
It's your year. So there's a builder here. That is very, very important. Anybody born in 1975, 1966, 1984, 1957, 1948, those are builders. As I was talking earlier, those are builders.
Thank you,
And
Karen.
yeah, that's a big one. And so you are, I'll tell you, 22, 23. Hold on a minute. 11. I'm a little tired after this
Oh,
whole
you've been
week
going
has been
nonstop. Yeah.
unbelievable. 12, 3. You are a 22, 23, 24, 7. You are a 7. So spiritually, a 7 is a spiritual number. So when a soul comes in and chooses a 7 path, so you can look up 7 life path. And did we already do a show on numerology? Because we could do one of these
We
shows
could
on it too.
revisit.
Well,
Yeah.
we should revisit and then I'll give
Sure.
exact information and do all of
Mhm.
this. Let's do that
Sure.
next week because that would
Okay.
be a good one for people. I think if we don't have a topic, that would
Sure.
be a good one. Um, so a 7 comes in to understand spirituality and what it is. It's a big responsibility. It's going up to the responsibilities category. So a 7 can either take a left turn or a right turn. So you would
Mhm.
always have to be aware as a 7 of what choice you're making. You have to watch alcohol and drugs too. Now, I don't know. I don't remember doing a reading for you if I said that or if I didn't. Only anybody that's a 7 has to watch that. This is in
Mhm.
general. But as a
Mhm.
22 year, that makes your life significant in a lot of ways, of the new ways of being, of breaking down the old structure, going to the new structure. Okay. And
Okay.
also on top of that,
Yeah.
you're a 3 of diamonds, and a 3 of diamonds. is wait a minute. Is that I'm getting a little. Hold on a minute. I just want
And
to
it
make
feels
sure.
like
Yeah, three of diamonds.
you're really opening up in the last couple of months too, that I'm feeling, and it's like you're finding a new way of really tapping into your own spiritual connection or abilities. Are you feeling that?
Yeah, I'm a medium, and I've taught yoga and meditation for 22 years. Yeah, I've really been into it, but you are absolutely right.
Yeah,
Since the pandemic, being home, I have felt like this
I'm getting
huge
goosebumps.
dive
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
There's something that's opening up that's new, or you're doing some integration or something along with your connection to healing. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but maybe it's a new guide that you're working with.
It could
Could
be.
be. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, John, you're right on. Good for you.
feel like-
Good, go you. I'm
I'm
impressed.
absorbing your energy, Kel. and-
No, you're a psychic. You know that. You're a medium yourself. So I mean, that
No,
was a
but I
great
mean, knowing-
observation. That was great.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm glad to hear that you're stepping into your
Yeah.
mediumship and your everything into everything that you're supposed to be doing here. I'm really happy about that. Good.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't drink alcohol at all, and that started about when I started doing a lot of readings, probably 6 years ago. I can't drink alcohol whatsoever anymore.
See, it really does go with mediumship, right?
Yeah,
Especially
I can't even
now.
have a sip without my entire body swelling. So
wow.
It's very true. I mean, when you start to get really sensitive and the energies flow in, you have to really watch it.
Mhm.
Everybody has to watch it
yeah,
with that, because it's what you put into your sphere is a big deal.
Mhm.
So thanks for calling. That's really sweet. Thanks for calling.
thank you for doing the show. Thank you.
Thanks
Yes,
for watching.
love having you. Call us back again.
Yeah,
Keep us
that was
informed.
Okay,
Okay, take care.
thank you.
All right. So
that was
moving
great,
on.
John. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed.
Oh,
Seriously,
thanks.
very impressed.
Well, with working with all you mediums and psychics and this whole spiritual community, I'm tapping more into this ability. So,
Well, as your heart
sure.
opens up,
Yeah.
this is what happens, and
Mhm.
then
I
everything
just
starts to come.
felt like she needed to hear that acknowledgement, and that was nice for me to get the confirmation. But I just felt like hearing that it was something that needed to be shared because,
Yeah.
it can be overwhelming doing this kind of work. So
Oh, I
you
hear
know
you.
that.
I hear you, brother.
Area code 229. Welcome. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Hey, John. Hey, Kellee. It's Nina.
Hey, Nina.
Hi, Nina.
you.
How are you, honey?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good.
Yeah, Nina was in the group last night. She hung out
Oh,
with us.
Nina.
And-
Did you watch the
Yeah.
show last night?
I missed the show last night because I don't get off until 6 Eastern, and so there's been some major changes with me. My husband is working in New York now, and
Oh, wow.
I'm home by myself, and so when I get off from work, I'm a little bit busy for about an hour.
I can imagine, honey. I can imagine. Wow. Well, how can I help you today?
Just wondering if you wouldn't mind doing my birth number and just seeing.
I'm happy to. Remind me if your birth. What's your birth date?
5/6/71.
It's so funny. I've had more people in May and June. I mean, so 5 and a 6 is an 11. If I just start there, 7,
My
8,
sister's
9.
birthday.
Oh, you're an 11, honey. Yeah, 1971 is 8, 9. Wait a minute. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, you're an 11 any which way I cut it. So 11 is one of the master numbers. And 11 this year, Nina, taking an 11 incarnation. I just want to get this all right for you because, you have such a so powerful because you're also on top of that a king of diamonds. Wow, that's a power plus power, but it's power with great responsibility, because an 11 comes in as a teacher to learn more difficult life lessons, but you would have come in you picked a real power day in order to have all of these lessons. That means that you would be the answer person to everybody. Do this, do this. No, I could do this. You're like the quarterback of everything.
Yeah.
and you come in, and during this
Mhm.
period of time that we're all in, anybody out there that is an 11 or a 22, or particularly 11s,
Mhm.
it's really starting off in grad school, as I say with this. It is, you would take on a lot in this life. You would have taken on tremendous amount, except
Mhm.
the funny thing about you is that you had the strong will to do it. The other part of this year you're going to see a lot of changes, right? The whole world's going to
Mhm.
change right in front of our eyes. We're going to go, what? I mean, you think, we had the COVID, and then after that we had, the whole shift in consciousness.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
about racism and everything that's been uncovered with that. And then we have other issues to look at, which will be fear. So,
Mhm.
with having said that, as an 11, you took a big incarnation. Anybody who's taken on an 11 everybody wanted to be here during this time. And
Mhm.
you really did. Bravo. So, this year will bring on
Yeah.
it will take more of a mystical road for you. Mystical. So, I would
Yeah,
say
you're gonna
really
go
enjoy that.
deeper, Nina.
Deeper for sure.
Deeper, deeper, deeper.
Yeah.
You're already doing that with the
Okay.
meditation that you do, with the artwork that you do, you know?
Oh, that's right. You do
Yeah.
the artwork. I
Yeah,
love your
she does.
stuff. I forgot about that. Yes. Oh,
It
honey.
relaxes her, but she's also
Yeah,
meditating while she's doing
that's
that.
good. Well, it's good because it would
Yeah,
calm your let
Right.
yeah,
you are equal left brain, and you also got a strong right brain, but you're a real
mhm,
left brain also. So
yeah.
that's really amazing. And don't take on
Yeah.
other people's stuff just because you can.
Yeah, Nina, cut those cords, even with doing call center, cut
Hmm.
those cords after each call and see if
Right.
you feel less drained.
Yeah, that's going to be important for you,
And I
Nina.
do try to do that. I mean, that's one of the reasons why when I get off from work and now that I'm here by myself, I mean, it's
Mm.
easier for me to get into my artwork a little bit
Yeah,
earlier. But I can put on music or put on a movie, and it's not that I'm watching the movie. It's just
Right.
noise.
yeah,
But I just get lost,
yeah.
and I can
Well,
do that for hours on hours.
Mhm.
go get lost. Go
And
get
that's what we're
lost.
calling deeper, going deeper.
Yeah,
You're going
just
deeper into it.
Right.
Yeah.
anything you need to do to pamper yourself, just do it.
Mhm.
Okay? All
Okay.
right. Thanks,
I
honey,
Thanks
for
for
sure will.
calling in,
calling.
sweetheart. Good to hear from you.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
y'all.
Okay, take
Love
care.
you.
Love you too.
Oh, she's such a sweetie. Oh,
Such a sweet person.
all right, Renee, I know you've been holding. Where are you? Did you drop off? If you
Oops.
did, I'll get back to you. Call back in.
I
Um,
owe her an email, Renee. I
yeah.
just haven't had. I'm going to do that today.
Let's see here. We've got a lot of, let's see here, new callers. Let's go
Okay.
to Wisconsin 920. Can we,
Oh no.
you are on the line with us. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from? I think you're Wisconsin. That's what the cell phone's telling me.
Hi, I'm Regan. I'm from Sturgeon, Wisconsin.
Oh, great.
So where are you from?
Sturgeon Bay.
Sturgeon Bay. I'm new to Wisconsin, so I don't have a clue where that is. You could have said anything. I would say I have no idea where that is. Is that northern, southern?
It's in the peninsula.
Oh, wow. I bet it's beautiful. I don't know. I've never been to the peninsula. In fact, I've been to the Peninsula Hotel in Chicago. It's my favorite. But I didn't know the peninsula. It must be a gorgeous place. I'll have to check that place out. How can I help you, honey? What's your birth date?
Well, I'm a senior, upcoming senior in high school, and I'm having trouble deciding like what path to take in college. So I was wondering if like a birthday number
Yeah.
would help.
First of all, yeah, let's start with
know
that.
where I'm supposed to go.
I'll help you, honey. What's your birth date?
11/13/2002.
Oh my God, 2002. So you really wanted to be here. You came here right after 9/11. Wow. So you did
So
come
she's a
in to bring
7 of
in
clubs?
change. Wow. Yes, you are a 7 of clubs. So you have to take a spiritual path. So let's just talk about, well, before I even go that, let me just get 2002. It's also a 22 in so many ways. It's a 22 also. So that's a 22 base with a 4 and a, oh boy. Hold on, 8, 9. That's a lot. That's a lot for me to look at for a sec. Just for a second. Hold on. So you were born in
It's
November, which
interesting.
is an 11.
While you're doing that, Cal, I'm getting bringer of light. You're a bringer of
Are you bringer
bringer of
of
light.
light? Yeah, she'll definitely that with you come in with extra power because November is an 11, and
Mhm.
that, as I was talking about, is the teacher and brings all that.
Mhm.
And you were born in a it's a 22. I look at 2002. I don't look at it as a 4. Just
Mm-hmm.
like 2020 right now, I look at it as a 22, and that is a really important date there. And if you add that with a 4, which will be, it's going to be, you'll need a solid base there, and you come in to do spirituality. What are you interested in? Because you do come in to bring light for sure, John, and you come
Mm-hmm.
in as one of the new waves, if you will, from 9/11, one of the new waves, and the new waves of energy for that will affect the planet. So what you want to do is have a lot of consciousness. Start thinking. You're unlike. They're telling me you're unlike. A normal, I don't think there are any normal people that were born from 2001 on. I just don't think there were, um, meaning that I don't think you're from here. You really do come in to bring light. If I can reference that again, it's
Mm-hmm.
really true. What do you want to do? Because you've got to have a lot of conscious. You got to be very aware. You can't get sucked in by what
Right,
somebody else wants to do.
right now I'm looking into psychology heavily.
Oh,
Wow,
do it,
perfect.
honey. How great is that? And I want you to
Yeah.
do it. Boy, be a psychologist. My daughter's a psychologist.
Yeah.
And you'd be a great psychologist with this kind of a background.
Especially mixing in the spirituality
I was
along
just
with,
going to
just
say
like
that,
Kel
John.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in fact, you could do exactly what I do with that. Mix
Mm-hmm.
in spirituality. So what does that mean? I mean, really get in touch with your intuition, and also you have a left brain and a right brain, and you
Mm-hmm.
come into bridge. They are bridged, actually. It looks pretty good to me, really good. So I would definitely take psych classes, go be a psychologist, and really focus on that, and add the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual piece to it. Because
Mm-hmm.
when in psychology they give you a lens, oh, you get to choose your lens. Well, I'll look at behavior, I'll look at family dynamics, which all is important, right? I'll look at
Mm-hmm.
Freudian, I'll look at back what the mother did. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you a lens. My lens is I have all of that. That's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
But I add the spiritual piece, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the key to going in the future with your generation, honey. So your generation is taking on a lot, and the generations that are come. So if you are a psychologist in the next 10 years, which you easily could be, my daughter was a psychologist at 28. You could do it 28 or 29. You can do it. And the reason I say that is because these new sets that are coming in that are born now, they're going to need spiritual
Mm-hmm.
guidance. They'll
Mm-hmm.
need the grounding, but psychology is morphing because I'm going to make it. It's my mission to morph that sucker
Mm-hmm.
into adding spirituality to it. It has to be because you're going to
Well,
be working with these star seed kids if you're not one already.
there is spiritual psychology, right? That is.
There
Uh-huh.
is, and I would definitely take some classes in that so you get an
Yeah.
idea about that. But in undergrad,
Mm-hmm.
where are you thinking of going to school? Wisconsin and Madison or Michigan or
Uh, I'm somewhere in Wisconsin. Right now I'm looking into Lakeland.
I don't know that one, but I know Madison has a good psychology department.
Mm.
Okay.
So anyway, it's just something to think about. But go you, keep going.
Yeah.
Okay? Affect
Thank you.
change. You're
Thank
welcome. Thanks for
Yeah, thanks
calling.
for calling in. Take care. Wow, Kel, we're almost at the end, and let me get to the one last caller here.
One last caller and then
North Carolina, we're going to area code 704. Can we have your name, please?
Hey, John. Hey, Kellee. It's Kim from North Carolina.
Hey, Kim.
Kim from North Carolina. I love
Kim's
these
our animal
accents.
communicator friend.
Oh my
Remember, you
God,
met
on the
her?
show
Yeah.
with James.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to get
Well,
together with
Oh,
Tammy.
yes.
John, can you
yeah.
arrange that for those
Kellee,
two?
I have reached out to Tammy as
Okay.
well. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sorry, Kim, go ahead.
That's okay. I was just going to tell Kellee you probably will never know how much it meant to me the other day when you told me, because I gave you my birthday. It was 3/15, and you said, "Oh my goodness, you came here. You could do anything." And I chose animal communication, but I just want more guidance in that, and to make sure that's
Yes.
the most, that's the best
Yeah.
path for me.
Yeah. It's the greatest path for you. Especially you
Oh.
can help the animals because the animals are going to need help too. Yes, they're here for us, but we have to be there for them. And I understand that I'm getting that you really can go deep with them, like Tammy, and really understand them. Like the other day, I don't know if you heard this story, but it was a great story about Ruby the horse that came to me, and it's a whole story there. One will have to talk about it another time, but when this horse came to me, he told me specifically that he felt like a burden. I'm like, first of all, I don't know from horses. That's Ruby. Ruby and Lori, our listener, Lori Counts, made Ruby warrior hats. And there's Ruby. And these hats are phenomenal. These caps that she made, phenomenal, actually. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
I'm just like, but anyway, Ruby, the horse, came to me and said he didn't want to be a burden to his owner. And so somehow magically it all worked out that Ruby ended up at this new place, and he's got Charlotte the pig who's his girlfriend. He's got this other horse who's his boyfriend. He
Mhm.
is just so happy. But they feel so deeply, and your work, because I do remember now, your work
Mhm.
comes in to give power to a voice. This is the word to the animals. You'll do it.
And the other thing
You'll do
is
it.
your heart is so open,
Oh
Kim,
yeah, Kim.
and
Oh my God.
and animals communicate with unconditional love through
Yeah.
telepathy, right? And so that's why you're
Yeah.
so suited for this, and it's going
Oh,
to be so much. I guess the word fulfilling. It's going to be very fulfilling to your soul, and feel. I mean, this is your mission
yeah.
in many
It's your
ways,
mission.
right? To be the
And
voice,
right.
yeah, voice for the
even
animals and bridge the gap.
even James got it right away. I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
got it. I don't mean even James, but James was like, "Oh no, you need to work with Tammy." Do you remember when he said that?
Yes. And I put
Yeah,
I do.
Tammy's group is in the comments there. It's Soul Speak for
Okay.
Animals with
okay.
Tammy Hendricks. And if you're not in that group, be sure to join it. I've actually already
Yeah.
reached out to Tammy about you as well.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah,
Oh,
Shout
I'll
out to
tell you,
Tammy.
John.
Thank you.
you're very
Well,
welcome.
thanks for calling. Really, you're going to go far with this, really far.
Mhm.
Wait till you see.
Okay.
You wanted to
So,
say one
I've
other
got
thing.
Yeah, I have a session with Prasna because I need to
great.
work on my
Mm.
self-confidence.
Mm.
And
Perfect.
it's just, yeah.
That's
It'll
what I'm
help.
saying about
I'm
your heart.
excited.
Yeah.
You'll
She's
love
gonna help you.
Prajna. She's going to help you a lot
She
with
will.
this.
She
She
will.
loves animals. I don't know if who's going to love animals more, if it's possible. You two. She's going to love you.
Oh, that's
Believe me.
awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she and I send her cow videos every day. She goes, "From India, how are my
I love
cows?" Oh, it's hysterical. She loves them. And I always say, "Oh, the cows are with Amma today in meditation." So,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh,
Well, thank you
that's
so much, honey.
awesome.
Have a great session.
Thank you so much,
You're
Kelly. Thank you so
welcome.
much, John.
Oh, you are very welcome. We love you, dear. You
Love
take care,
you.
okay?
We love you. Okay.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So I just want to put out there to folks, please join our Both Sides Now TV community group. We've had over 100
Yes.
people join in the last week.
Yay.
So it's really, really growing. And it's our free support group. And we also get together after the show in our video chat room,
Mhm.
often in Zoom these days. But it sometimes starts out on Facebook and then we move it to Zoom. And we just hold space for one another. And we do little pop-ups, meetups.
Mhm.
So from time to time, you'll see those pop up on the group, and we'd love to have you a part of those. You don't have to even go on video if you don't want to. I was shy at first as well, but I now come on video as well and
It
interact with you.
does.
So
And it's
all
fun. Every
right.
once in a while I pop on. I brought James on
You
before.
have, yes.
I have.
We love it.
I'm not going to jump on today if you're doing this now because I'm going to go for a walk with
Sure.
my husband,
Yeah,
but because I do have to spend time there.
I know.
And what was I going to say? Oh, Monday's show. Tell
Yeah.
everybody who's on Monday's show.
So Monday is going to be a very fascinating show. We're
Yeah.
bringing back Linda Gabriel, dear friend, who is going to talk more about life between lives. This is the third time that she's been on. It's been several years though, but we're bringing her back to talk about life between lives, which is a form of hypnotherapy where it takes you in between your lives. So you maybe just ended an incarnation and you're about to reincarnate, or you're just doing some soul review. It's really, really fascinating. She's going to walk
Yeah.
through that whole process of what it's like on the other side, and
Yeah.
the lessons that we learn while we're here on Earth, and why things happen. Well, bad things happen to good people in that sense. You know what I mean? If you look at it from that ego point of view. So
I-
she's going to help us really connect to the eternal soul.
Right. And
Point of view.
her point of view is from Michael. I'm forgetting
Michael
this.
Newton. Michael
Newton.
Newton. Yes, he's
Oh,
written many awesome books called
fascinating.
Destiny of Souls, Journey of Souls. And
Life
that
between
was
lives.
life-changing work for me. I mean, it really was to actually read that and absorb all of that and take that in, because it really helped me view life from a whole different perspective. And I really feel that that will help a lot of people.
So many people.
Sort of,
Yeah.
especially with the forgiveness piece, if you're struggling with forgiveness. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
true. All
Well,
right,
love you, Kel.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. I love you. See you Monday night.
Take care, everyone, and meet us
Bye.
up in the group. So I will put that
Yes.
in there again so you guys can see it crawling across the screen, I think. And then you can join us in the group. Just go to Both Sides Now TV, where you're watching right now. There's a little button at the top that says Visit Group. Click that button, and we'll get you into the group, and we will see you at the after event party. All right.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
Take care.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo Dr. Shirley and Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world.